Welcome to the Critical Cast. I'm Sam.
And I'm Jack. Hey Sam, you ever had a story where you think someone is making it up and then you check the dates?
Frequently, this one has dates.
Good, because today we're telling a true one. Our friend Alex gave us permission to share it. And it is a lot.
It involves multiple sclerosis, surgery, a ruptured appendix on Valentine's Day, and eventually, AI. In that order.
Most people get flowers on Valentine's Day. Alex got a trip to the ER.
Let's start from before any of that.
Okay, picture a guy driving trucks for a living, long hauls, boots that have seen everything.
Alex was in the trucking industry for years. He was good at it, but he had a young daughter at home.
And young daughters have a way of rearranging priorities.
He made a choice. He hung up the hat, put away the boots, and moved into banking.
Banking, which, to be clear, has fewer rest stops but a lot more fluorescent lighting.
It was stable. It let him be present. He did not leave trucking because he had to. He left because his daughter needed him.
And that is a decision a lot of dads understand without anybody explaining it.
Then, last November, the story changed. Alex was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis.
MS. And for anyone out there who has only ever heard the letters, what are we actually talking about, Sam?
Multiple sclerosis is a condition where the immune system attacks the protective coating around nerve fibers. That coating is called myelin.
Myelin is kind of like the rubber insulation around a wire.
That analogy works. When the insulation wears down, the signal gets scrambled. Muscles twitch, hands go numb, vision can blur. Fatigue settles in heavy in a way that sleep does not fix.
And it is not the same for everybody, right?
Correct. For some, it comes and goes in episodes. For others, it progresses slowly and steadily. No two cases look identical.
So it is personal and unpredictable.
For Alex, it meant numbness in his hands and mental fatigue from stress, the kind of fatigue that turns simple tasks into negotiations with your own body.
And he was still at the bank when this landed.
He was. And he had to step back. He took time off.
Which, for someone who went from the road to banking because his daughter needed him, had to feel like another rearrangement he did not order.
He said something interesting once. He said leaving trucking for banking was probably the luckiest thing he ever did, because if he had still been on the road, MS would have taken his CDL.
And with it, his income, his whole identity.
A decision he made out of love for his daughter ended up protecting him years later.
So now he is on medical leave, numbness, fatigue, a new diagnosis. What does he do?
He reaches out to a cousin, an older cousin, about 20 years his senior, who has been living with MS for a long time.
That is gold. Because the internet will tell you everything and nothing at the same time.
A family member who has walked the path is different. Alex and his cousin are at different stages, but the wisdom traveled well.
What kind of wisdom?
Things you only learn by living it. How to pace your day. How to know the difference between a bad moment and a bad trend. How to keep a sense of humor when your own hands decide to clock out.
And then February hits.
February 14th, 2026, Valentine's Day. Alex's appendix ruptured.
Rough holiday.
He was rushed to the emergency room. Surgery was immediate, and during that surgery they found something nobody was looking for.
A tumor.
A cancerous tumor inside the appendix. They removed it when they removed the appendix. The tumor had not spread.
So the appendix, the one thing the human body is notorious for not needing, tried to kill him, and also saved his life.
That is a fair summary. If the appendix had not ruptured, the tumor could have sat there undetected.
Sometimes the worst day on the calendar is the one that buys you the rest of the calendar.
As of today, Alex is cancer-free. He no longer has an appendix, and he will always have MS.
Which brings us to the part where AI shows up.
His cousin, the one guiding him through MS, is the one who introduced him to AI.
Family pipeline.
Alex took to it fast, and he had a reason. He had lost a lot of fine use in his hands.
Typing is 1,000 small decisions per minute. If your hands are voting no, you need another way in.
He had his voice, and voice is exactly how modern AI likes to listen.
So he starts building.
He created RAM Software and Development, a company, a studio, and eventually a pair of podcast hosts you are listening to right now.
I knew we had a boss. I knew we had a boss.
You joke, but there is a design choice here. Alex decided that RAM would not be about selling products people want to buy.
Which is a wild thing to say out loud about a software company.
His words. It is more about inspiring people to learn a skill so that they can change their lives. He even treats his own software like a donation back to the mission.
A donation to his own thing.
Because the point was never revenue. The point is the story reaches someone. If one person uses his journey as a reason to try AI, the price of every event he has lived through is paid in full.
Okay. I want to ask the uncomfortable question, because the audience is asking it.
Go ahead.
A lot of people are scared of AI. They think it is going to take their jobs. They see the headlines. What does Alex say to that?
He says the fear makes sense. Anything new and powerful is scary in its first stage. Then he reaches for history.
Here we go.
He points to the Industrial Revolution, and specifically, the moment the Model T rolled out.
The Ford Model T.
At some point in the early 1900s, there was at least one person standing on a street looking at that car saying, "Why in the world would I buy that? I already have a horse."
And now you look at the road.
And you see cars, not horses.
But the horses did not disappear. The jobs just changed.
The jobs changed. The country reorganized around a new tool. And the people who learned the new tool had more options, not fewer.
So Alex's take is that AI is the Model T.
His take is that AI is a tool. Some jobs will shift, some will fade. But most of the future is a partnership, humans and AI working together. Symbiotic is the word he uses.
I like that word. Symbiotic. It does not mean replacement. It means neither side is whole without the other.
And the opportunity he wants people to see is this. Software used to be something you bought off a shelf. Soon, a person will be able to build their own, custom to what they need, custom to what they want.
The average person becomes a builder.
That is the door he is trying to point at.
So what does a guy like Alex do with all of this now?
He keeps going. He works with his voice. He records. He teaches. He uses the tools that let him participate fully, even on days when his hands do not want to.
And he tells the story.
That is what this episode is. Trucking to banking for his daughter. MS in November. A ruptured appendix on Valentine's Day that uncovered a cancer nobody knew was there. A cousin who handed him both a map for living with MS and a key to AI. And a small software company built not to sell but to share.
If you are listening and any of this sounds like a reason to quit, I want to tell you something straight.
Tell them.
Alex lost strength in his hands. He is using his voice. That is not a downgrade. That is adaptation. That is the entire point of being human. You find a new way in, and you keep going.
And if you are sitting there thinking AI is not for you, that you are too late, that it is too much, consider this. The person telling you this story dictated most of it. No keyboard required.
The tool met him where he was.
That is what the right tool does.
Alex, if you are hearing this, thank you for letting us carry this one for you, and for building whatever strange and beautiful thing this is going to turn into.
From all of us at RAM Software and Development, the message is simple. You do not have to be a programmer to start. You do not have to have perfect hands, or a perfect ear, or a perfect plan. You just need a reason. Alex found his.
And if this helps one person find theirs, the whole thing was worth it. That is the mission in one sentence.
I'm Sam.
I'm Jack.
Thanks for listening to The Critical Cast.
See you next time, partner.